What is going on, everyone? Glad to have you guys in with us tonight. I'm gonna let me take this off of the screen real quick, and let's get me and Michael in here. Michael is visiting in Savannah, Georgia, and he's coming to us live. He might go in and out because he's using hotel Wi-Fi, and that can sometimes be a little bit sketchy. And but we're going to do our best. Hopefully, everybody hears me loud and
All
clear.
right.
Michael, we're going to start with our normal thing. We're going to do a couple of shout outs here and get everybody rocking and rolling tonight on a Friday night. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And we got our Friday night live stream. We're back in order, Michael. Anything you want to say before we start our shout outs?
Yeah, it's been a hot one today. I think it was 93 down here, and a thunderstorm come up. It was thunder and lightning, poured down rain. So, but the
Oh,
sun's out now. It's pretty down here now.
yeah, it's hot. It's hot here, Michael. Let's start with some shout outs, Michael. Let's first say hello to Dig and Daryl. I've been talking to Dig and Daryl since last week, and he's got his M9 coil from Joel, and he's ready to go out, Michael, and give that thing a good workout. So I look forward to hearing
I'm
about
looking
his
forward to
adventures.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing about his adventures with that M9 coil. We got Chris in the house.
Me too.
Mr. Head Hacker Coin Slayer's back with us tonight, Michael. Glad to have him in here with us. Mr. Bobby Short, as always. DCM Detects is in here with us. Glad to have DCM. Mr. Sniff It Out's in here with us tonight. Glad to have Sniff It Out with us. Let's see, Mr. Joe Dirt's in here with us. Glad to have Joe Dirt. Look at there. There's Mr. Lance McElwain. We're glad to have Lance in here with us tonight. What's up,
What's up,
Lance?
Lance?
Don't Tread on Me's in here with us. Always super excited to have him with us as well. Mr. Workman's Adventures in the house with us. We got Edward G in the house with us. Mr. Doug Atkins is in the house with us tonight, Michael. Dirt Devil Detecting is in the house. Dirt Devil Detecting, we're loving our RC lock. Tell you what, on that
Oh,
XP Deus 2, it really works good. So, yeah, thank
yes.
you so much for that. And the reports that I'm getting back from the ones that were sent out on the giveaway have been very, very good. So, thank you so much, Dirt Devil Detecting, for helping us out with that. Mr. Ricky Bennett's in the house with us. Metal Detecting Texas, glad to have him here with us. Miss Bells is here with us tonight, Michael. Glad to have Bells. Can You Dig It is in here with us. And let's see, Mr. James Bazell. What's up, James? Glad to have you, buddy. There he is. Surfside Dan is in the house. And Surfside Dan, you and I are hooking up this weekend and going to do a little bit of dirt fishing ourselves. So I'm looking forward to that. Mr. LC Hunt is with us, and we got some finds that we're going to share from some of these guys. Relics and Rings is in the house with us. I'm glad to have him in there. Um, Doug Atkins says he wants to give a huge thank you to Joel. He ordered a 13-inch coil for his Deus 2 from him on Sunday night, and UPS had it at his door Wednesday at 2 p.m. Joel's good about shipping some stuff
Pretty
out anyway.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He is.
really
He gets it there quick.
yeah. Mr. Kerry Pope is in the house with us. Mr. Rito Marcella always in here with us, and we really appreciate him. And super excited to have him in here with us. Don't Tread on Me says this is the time of the year when I'm not jealous of Southerners. Winter can be hard in the what is that? Nerkshire res of Massachusetts, but a little cooler here in the summer, right? Oh,
Berkshires.
yeah, it's getting
I think it's the
ready to be
Berkshires.
Berkshires. It's getting ready to be hot, Michael, and you and I both know that, and that means high humidity and mosquitoes and ticks and poison ivy, poison oak, snakes. We're getting ready to deal with all of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Speaking of snakes, I saw Metal Detect in Texas had a little video on Facebook of a big, one of the biggest copperheads I've ever seen.
really, I have to check that out for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, he said Doug Atkins says don't tread on me. It's 91 in South Louisiana. I don't want those. I don't want those 90s. Yes, it's definitely going to get brutal down here in South Carolina, DCM for sure. Bobby Short says RC locks very well thought out and well made by Dirt Devil. Again, yeah, I love my RC lock
Oh yeah.
on my Deus too, and Dirt Devil did a fantastic job on the design for that. Yeah, Berkshires, that's right. There we go. Richard's in the house with us. Glad to have you in here, Richard. And Surfside Dan says, "Hey, it's beach time." Yeah. Yeah, and snake season in Georgia, metal detected Georgia is exactly right. Glad to have him in here with us tonight. So, Michael, I attempted to do a live stream last night that it was good, but I didn't like the video quality of it, so I deleted it. But I'm going to go and rehash for those of you that did not see that live stream last night. We're going to go back through some of those things with the Manticore M9 coil, which Michael and I just got through using on a hunt. And so we're going to talk a lot about the M9 to start the show tonight. For those of you that have a Manticore, you got that. If you're really looking for another coil, that M9 coil is going to be a special one. Michael and I had a great time running it last week, and it was just a superb hunt all the way around. And you guys have already seen the video. I had the video up on Monday, so go check that video out. You can see all that content and see what the M9 is doing. But Michael and I scorched that plantation site with that M9, and it did extremely well. So yes, yeah. Chris says it was a good live stream. It was the video quality. I noticed that it was blaring, and then of course I had that echo going on in the beginning, and I just said, well, we'll go back through it again on this live stream. So we'll do what we can.
You were doing a little bit of experimenting.
Yeah, it was. I don't normally use the YouTube app to do the live stream, so that was sort of an experiment or a test run. Let's just say that way. But anyway, we're gonna work on that and try to get that sort of perfected a little bit more so we can do that. Bart Cubbins is in the house. Glad to have Bart. And Richard Smart says, I've only used it about 10 minutes, but already loving that M9. Yeah, it's a good one. So, Michael, last night we talked on this live stream about the M9 coil. So, real quick, we're going to take a look at it just so people can see it. For people that haven't seen it yet, let me take this off of my Manticore here. And there it is, guys. You guys can see how thin this coil is. Look at that. And this is going to be excellent for using in the water. It's going to be excellent for swinging through tall grass. It has almost zero drag through the water. MindLab did a great job on the design of this M9. You guys can see it there. And I'm going to show you for a comparison so everybody can see this. And I did this last night, but I wanted to show it to you guys too. There's the M8. So look at the width difference between the M8 versus the M9.
Yeah, they really shaved some weight off, didn't they?
Yeah, they have shaved weight. This coil actually weighs more than this coil.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's just really interesting how they've done that. And somebody wanted me to show sort of a comparison between the Deus 2 and the M9. Well, there's the M9, and here's the Deus 2. And again, I think you can see the difference in the width of that coil. So MindLab has done a great job of designing this M9 coil. And yes, the M9 is a double D round coil, which you guys can see it there. But super nice. Makes this machine ergonomically, it just makes this machine feel totally different, doesn't it, Michael?
It does. It's a pleasure to swing. he said he only used it for 10 minutes. I'm sure he noticed the difference in that 10
Oh my
minutes.
gosh, yeah,
With the weight.
and it's pleasant to hunt with, Michael. That's the whole thing, you know. You put this thing on there, and it's just real pleasant to swing with this smaller coil, and you still get some good coverage. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me about depth, but Michael, we dug a target that was what 14, 16 inches
Yeah.
deep with this M9 coil. So depth is not an issue. Here's what I said last night too. One thing that if you're getting this coil and you start running it with the Manticore, please guys don't run the sensitivity up too high on it, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to find that it's going to false a lot if you run the sensitivity up. And I was running it at about 20 and I was still getting, you know, some falsing, not bad, but I was still getting those high pops and cracks. Run it around 19 or 18. Michael and I found that to work extremely well, running it at that lower sensitivity, and we were getting incredible depth, even with it at that 18, 19 sensitivity. So don't try to run it up too high with the sensitivity. You might be able to get away with 20 or 21, but I wouldn't go any higher than that. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I mean that seems. I think we experimented with that. You went up to what 20 or 21,
Yeah.
and it got a little more. Seemed like a little more erratic. But as far as hunting in the iron, now you could probably get away with that hunting in more open ground, no
Right.
problem. But
Yeah.
hunting in the heavy iron,
Yeah, you're gonna get some of that falsing, I think, if you do that. Glad to have you in here. Stink Ass Cat's in here with us. Relics and Rings is in here with us. Glad to have him with us tonight. So really appreciate both of you guys being in here as well. You guys are awesome supporters. Wilton 925 is in here. He said, "Where does your M9 coil pinpoint at when in the pinpoint mode? Mine doesn't pinpoint in the middle like the 11. It will not. It's actually sort of near the back side of the coil a little bit more so, and that's the sweet spot of that coil too, is the
Right.
back side of that coil. And when we ran the M8, and I sort of showed that video not too long ago, the M8, the sweet spot's in the front of the coil. And so, you got to experiment with it, but play around with it. Guys, I'm going to tell you, to me, it's one of the best coils for that machine, period, hands down. And it might be the one that I basically leave on that machine. That's how good it is. But again, always, like we've been saying, use different coils. Go back to some of your sites, try those different size coils on those sites, and I think you'll find that you're going to find some stuff just like Michael and I did. I mean, we've run the 11-inch on the Manticore on this site, and I've run the M8 a little bit on this site. I haven't run it a lot, and I ran the M9, and we found what 40 buttons between the two of us.
Yeah, around 40 buttons and some other odds and ends.
Yeah, we found all kind of stuff, and I got a picture of that coming up real soon that I'm going to share with you guys. But again, the M9 coil, if you've got the Manticore, it's definitely one that you're going to want, and one that I would strongly suggest. It's just got a lot to offer. Joel can get you set up, and we're gonna run Joel's information across the bottom here. If you're looking for a machine, you're looking for a coil, you're looking for an accessory, check Joel out. His information is scrolling across the bottom. It's Metal Detecting, Buy, Sell, and Trade USA. He's got a website, so check out the website. But he can get you hooked up with anything you're looking for with any machine, pretty much. He's got everything available. Just give him a shout, go on the website, look and see what he's got to offer. But he does it fast, and he'll get it to you in a hurry, and does it with a smile. So we appreciate Joel, and I definitely want you guys to know. Don't Tread on Me says Deus 2 is still a lot lighter. Well, I haven't stuck it on the weight or whatever of it. I haven't measured it and tested it and put it on the scale to see. But I don't know. It's got to be really close though.
I think it's going to be really close. 9-inch coil to 9-inch coil. I think it's not going to be a lot of difference between
Well,
the
I
two.
mean, we just saw the difference in the size of the Deus 2 coil versus the M9 coil. So we saw that. So we know that Deus 2 coil is a lot heavier. But I'm going to tell you this, ergonomically, that machine with that M9 coil on it makes it feel really good. I mean, it makes it easy
Yeah,
to swing, and we all know that. I mean, that's the truth. The Deus 2, one of the lightest metal detectors out there, no question about that. Because of what XP's done, they've done a fantastic job in designing that coil. And of course, like I said, I've used that 9-inch coil for forever, and I love that 9-inch coil. And that's why I was so excited when MindLab released this 9-inch coil, and I'm loving it too, and Michael's loving it as well. So again, very, very,
yeah,
very good feedback so far from what we're seeing out of this 9-inch coil. So again, Digging Darrell says, hello, Joel. Thank you for his M9 coil. He's got it in. Stink Ass Cat says, hey, he pulled 3 silvers today with the M8. Yes, if you want something to pinpoint real easy, that M8, that small coil is going to pinpoint really good. So the M8 is definitely one too. Joe Dirt says, is the M9 good in modern trash as the M8 is? Now, I haven't used it on a modern trash site, but I would say yes. Just
yeah.
from what I've
I would
seen,
think so.
yeah, I would think it would perform extremely well and very similar to that M8. So, again, M8, M9, both great coils, both 2 coils that I would want in my arsenal if I had a Manticore. And again, if you're looking for one, check out Joel. And Metal Pages, he says he's got the M8, but it looks like I need an M9 now. You're going to love that M9, guys. I'm just telling you, it really changes. To me, it changes that machine dramatically. I think so. But
Yeah,
yeah, the M9 is definitely one to take a look at. Wilton 925 says, thank you, was having some difficulty. We can't use shovels in our area, so pinpointing with a detector is a must for a small plug. Yeah, we'll take your hand trowel and use it, to retrieve those targets. But both of those coils, the M8 and the M9, will do an excellent job of being able to pinpoint for you. But I would play around with it first and make sure I knew exactly where it's sort of falling on that coil. Let's see here. Kerry Pope says, I ran 18 to 20 sensitivity on M8, stabilizer 4, filter off, perfect, not one fault. That's perfect. That's what you want. I don't
yeah,
use the stabilizer quite so much, but I know in certain situations, the stabilizer is going to be good to run, especially if you're probably in that modern trash for sure. I think it helps. I like to run the machine a little bit open, and so does Michael too. So we tend to run it a little bit hot, I guess is what most people would want to say. I tell people to never call after 6:30 because I'll be watching Brian and Michael. We appreciate that metal detecting Texas, but don't miss an important call if there's somebody out there that you need to be speaking with. But thank y'all so much. Um, Let's see here, Michael. Fly Rock says Manticore feels better balanced on my arm after a few hours compared to Deus 2. Well, the one thing I can say about the Manticore is being able to adjust that arm cuff. I think changes that whole dynamic too. And
that
mine
does
like
help a lot.
yeah, MindLab did a great job of designing that way, being able to move that arm cuff up and down. You're not stuck in that position. And of course, some of us have longer arms, some of us have shorter arms. Like Michael's arms are really long, my arms are really short. As far as my forearms. So being able to adjust that arm cuff and move it up and down on that shaft really changes how it pulls on your elbows, your shoulders and all of that. So MindLab did a good job on that for sure, and that's kudos to MindLab for doing that. Middle of Texas says my friend's wife called to tell me about her new bed. Well, there you go. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going through the comments, Michael. Doug Atkins says, if you are considering buying anything, call Joel. You won't be disappointed. There you go, Doug. Thank y'all so much. And Joel appreciates it, I know, too, as well. Arthur Schwartz says, I tried the M9 today just walking around the woods. I found some cool stuff. I love the ergonomics. There you go.
Too.
I do too. I'm with you 100% on it. It's definitely changed that machine. Thank you, LC Hunt. And we got some finds coming up. We're going to share those in just a few minutes. And LC's got some finds that we're going to show from him. Digging It Back's in the house with us. Glad to have you in here with us, Charlie. Appreciate it, buddy. Glad to have you in here with us as well. So, Michael, we talked a lot about the M9. And again, just to sort of show you guys one more time for you guys that are joining in late, look at the thin design of this coil. It's really changed the ergonomics of this machine, and it's made this a fun detector to swing with this M9 on there. And great coverage, good depth, excellent separation. To me, it's one of the most versatile coils out there right now for this machine. So it's really, really, really good. And this is a comparison. There's the M8. So if you looked at the M8 and you look at the M9, you'll see the M8 is even thicker than the M9. So, but a lot of people don't realize that. So that was one of the main things that I shared last night on the live stream. One other thing I want to share too that Michael and I have discovered is I really like running the ML85s with the Manticore. I don't know how many of you have tried the ML85s with the Manticore. I think it gives a better sound, a richer sound than the ML105s. So if you
I know it blocks out more noise for sure.
Yeah.
It's more noise canceling.
Right. So, if you're, if you like the ML85s, I like the sound of the ML85s a little better than the ML105s. And again, like Michael said, it definitely does a better job of noise canceling. So the ML85 headphones, if you don't like the ML105s hurt my ears. Michael, did they hurt your ears?
Yeah, if you don't get them on quite right, they kind of.
Yeah, they press down. And I guess I've got big ears, Michael. I don't know, but
I do too.
They hurt my ears. So I like the feel of these a little better, and they work extremely well with the Manticore. So I've been running the ML85s on my Manticore.
Has Dan had a chance to? I know he got a pair.
Yeah, he has. He has. He's got his hooked up, and he likes them a lot better too. So that was it. So Michael, we got a lot of other things that I wanted to go over tonight too. MindLab looks like there's going to be a new machine coming, and it looks like it's going to be an Xterra machine, and I think it's going to be a multi-frequency machine. So that was one of the things. A lot of people are saying they use the 85s. Everybody's with us, Michael. Yeah. Yes. So Jean. Hey, Jean, how are you doing? Jean Digs History says she uses the 85s. Digging Daryl says he does too. Workman's Adventure says he uses the 85s. So the 85s are just great headphones for that machine, and they work really well. But anyway, let's get back to the new MindLab machine. So it looks like it's going to be an Xterra sort of offshoot, and it's going to be maybe a multi-frequency machine. It's going to be waterproof. I'm not sure what the price range is going to be of that machine. They said we're going to know something in June about that machine. So that's going to be interesting to see what that machine looks like, how it performs, what that price range is going to be. Again, a lot of us have various machines, and we've got buddies who are looking for machines. So it'll be interesting to see what MindLab does with that new, they're calling it the X Factor, I think is what I saw. Somebody can correct me if they know any more about it, but Yeah, it's going to be interesting as well. Yes, please hit that like button. It helps out with the algorithm as well. But we're going to see what happens with this new Xterra. Patrick Parker's on here. Glad to have you in here, Patrick. He said, "What's your opinion on the Xterra Pro detector? Wonderful machine at a very affordable price, and the features you get with that machine, which I have one back here." Real quick, we'll talk a little bit about it, Michael, since I got one back here. But here's there's the Xterra, and the Xterra I really like because, again, for that price point, you got a waterproof detector, you got a backlit screen, nice big screen. You can hunt with it on the beach. 200 and well, I've seen somebody told me they got one of these the other day, Michael, for $219.
Yeah, I think that was at Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of different coil selections for this machine now too. I've got the smaller 8-inch coil with the Xterra, and I like it. You know, like I said, it's a very good machine for the price point that it's at, and you get a lot of features at that price point for sure.
Well,
So
at this point, they announced that new machine. I would, if I was interested in getting an Xterra Pro, I would probably hold off and just see what the price and
yeah,
what that new machine looks like.
right, yeah. Who knows?
Just
Who knows? You're certainly welcome, Patrick. Thank you for the question. We love Again, I love answering questions about these machines as I've got a good many of them, but that Xterra is a solid machine. I'll tell you the other solid machine, if you're looking in that price point, is the Nokta machine. The double score and the score are excellent machines out on the beach, and they are a true multi-frequency machine, waterproof. You can set that thing up and you can just take it out and you can go. And that's the great thing about the Nokta score and the double score is being able to run those machines. And I've got both of those machines as well. We'll show those real quick. But yes, so there we go. There's the double score. And I really like the feel of this machine. And I've got the smaller coil for it too. I think it's got a lot of really neat features. And you can get this machine at a heck of a price too. So you might, if you're interested in a multi-frequency machine that you can hunt the beach, this is a good one too at less than
what's
$500.
interesting about that machine? I saw it firsthand. It's a light machine. It's really comfortable, and as far as separation on the test, it will hang with the big boys. The Deus, the Manticore. It's great on separation, so it should be good as far as hunting relics, I would think.
Oh, it will be. And Stinkcast Cat's exactly right. He says it'll run all the coils that the Equinox runs. So yeah, you can if you've got
Yeah.
Equinox coils, you'll be able to hook them right up. You can use the ML85 headphones with the Xterra. There are a lot of great options that MindLab's done with that machine, and it's a good machine. I mean, for that money, for that price, you're not going to find much any better than that. Now, Nokta has released their Find X machine, which is less than $200, but I have not used that machine, so I can't really comment on it. But if I get my hands on one, I do know somebody that has one. I might give it a test and just sort of see what it does if anybody's interested in that. So DCM says he's got an Xterra Pro. I'm keeping it. I like the machine. In my experience, dropping the sensitivity is key. It will calm the machine down and it still hits deep. It does hit deep. I've used it out on the beach. Did you know the first time I used it, Michael, out on the beach, I dug a gold ring with it, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it seems to be a kind of a theme with these MindLab machines too, with the sensitivity, like he said, and we've kind of learned over time, if you drop that sensitivity down, you're not losing depth, but you are calming that machine down where it's pleasant to hunt with, and it still, it doesn't fall as bad on the iron. So
right. Yeah, Joel says he's got to use one if anybody is interested in the double score. DCM says the double score is a solid machine. and it is. So since we're talking a little bit about Nokta, Nokta has released that 1.15 final update for the beast mode. For those of you that have the Legend, I have not run that yet. I'm going to try to get that downloaded onto the Legend, and I'm going to take it out. I'll probably take it out to the beach. I might take it to the Relic site too and run it a little bit. The key things about that update for you guys that have the Legend, most of you know this, but there may be a couple of you that don't. If you have the Legend, the 1.15 update with that beast mode is going to allow you to detect targets that are deep targets, that are non-ferrous targets, and it's going to be able to work good in iron. So again, that's the selling feature of that. And then you've also got a DT feature, which again is deep target identification, that you'll be able to run on all the programs, except for, I don't know if it runs on the beach, but it does run on the other park and field. And you can actually, get deeper targets and be able to separate the non-ferrous. The beast mode is made to be extremely deep, and you run it in their goldfield mode for using that beast mode. But I am going to try to get that installed. I am going to do some testing with it, and I'll run the LG 24, and I'll also run the LG 30 as well. So we'll see what that does, and I'll try to get a video for you guys that have Legends. I'll try to get a video up maybe sometime in the next week or so, sort of showing and demonstrating what that thing is capable of doing. Stink Ass Cat says, my dealer told me yesterday that Minelab is likely going after that sub 200 machine and all the Chinese knockoffs on Amazon with this new machine coming out. Yeah, but I think from what they're saying, it sounds like it's going to be a multi-frequency machine, Stink Ass Cat, and that's what's got me sort of intrigued. And since we're talking about new machines, we might as well go ahead and bring this one up too. Garrett is coming out with the Storm, and what is that machine going to be? Hopefully, we're going to know something next month from what I saw on the advertisement. So maybe we'll know more about that Garrett machine. The consensus seems to be that it's going to be sort of a mid-level, mid-tier machine, or maybe possibly a beginner's machine. I'm not real sure, and I don't know that for a fact. But hopefully we'll know more about the Garrett Storm real soon. And as soon as I find out something, I'll try to get a video up about that as well, sort of talking about it, what to expect, and that kind of stuff. So we're going to definitely be waiting to see what Garrett does. It would be nice if this Garrett machine is a machine that is multi-frequency, is one that we can use on the beach. But we'll see what happens with Garrett, and maybe they're implementing some of that Whites technology that they bought when they bought out Whites. Maybe they're doing something with that. What do you think, Michael?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think at this point they're going to have a multi-frequency machine. Yeah. I know they have the Apex, but it should be rechargeable. Most machines have gone to rechargeable setups. But it's, I'd love to see Garrett, come out with a machine that's really competitive with these other companies, foreign companies. I'd like to see a good machine out the U.S. here.
So Stack Silver just got on here. He said, I did the version 1.15 update from 1.13 this morning on my Legend. Haven't tried beast mode yet, but I did have to turn down the sensitivity a bit on my regular settings on M1 and M2. Well, thank you. That's a great tip. And again, I'm going to look at that pretty hard and heavy over the next week as I'm starting to wind down my school year. So hopefully I can get out a little bit more. Maybe it's more likely going to be on the beach, but I can go out and I can sort of see what that's actually doing. And we'll see what happens. Don't Tread on Me says 10 years ago, that's right. Look,
I had one of those.
Yeah, look how far we have come. Don't Tread on Me. We've got lightweight metal detectors with small coils that are ultra deep. We've got all kinds of things that are out there. And these companies are constantly putting stuff out constantly. And that's as a user and as a consumer of metal detecting products, we are probably living in one of the best times ever. And the innovation just keeps advancing, advancing, advancing. So it's going to be nice. Metal Detecting Northwestern Wisconsin says the guy in the storm video dropped his apex and went after something better. It's going to be a new flagship detector. I hope you're right. I really do. And I'm trying to find out some information on it. I know some people, so hopefully maybe I can squeeze a little bit of information out of somebody, and maybe we can spill the tea right here on the live stream. So yeah, Garrett Storm. Let's wait and see what happens with that. Patrick Parker said, just look at your videos on your page. Guess I'm going to subscribe and watch them all. Well, thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate that, buddy. And I've got a real good Xterra walkthrough. So yeah, go check it out. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And there, Stink Ass Cat, thank you so much for the donation. I definitely support Garrett if they came out with a strong competitive machine. And
I would too. Yeah.
I think all of us would. We just want to see them do it, do it. And I think everybody can get behind a Garrett machine. As many of us were AT Pro or AT Gold, or we use some of the earlier Garrett machines, and we all love Garrett machines. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm real excited about what could possibly be coming from Garrett and some of the things that they're doing. So, Michael, that leads us to the final thing, XP. So, what do we think XP is going to do in the middle of all of this? I mean, are they going to come out with a new machine? Are they going to come out with a mid tier or lower tier machine? Is that new coil coming? Those are all questions that nobody really knows at this point. But I will say this, from the people that I've talked to at XP, there's something brewing. So be patient, and hopefully we're going to have something in the near future. And I think XP, they don't release things until they're totally sure that it's going to be something that all of you are going to want. I can promise you that. That's the one thing I can definitely say. Metal Detecting Georgia says a Deus 3.
Right.
Possibly.
Well, we talked about that. The Deus one, they kind of, it was a top machine for many years, and but in today's market, technology's moving so fast. You got every 2 to 3 years, it looks like you got to come out with a new, better machine. And I think XP is going to have to do that.
And here's the thing with XP. We know that when they released the Deus 1 in 2011, that machine is still going, even in 2024. They just did an update for that machine just recently, within the last 6 or 7 months. So you don't know. I mean, is the Deus, are they going to ditch the Deus 2 format and go with something else? Are they going to come out with, something similar to the MindLab machines? I mean, I just don't know. I will say this is the one thing that I do know. They're real key on tone and audio, more so than they are screen. And that's what a lot of us love about the Deus machines and XP machines, is that the audio on those machines, although it can be annoying sometimes, it can drive you crazy, and but the audio is good. You get a lot of tonal recognition over targets with the XP machines that you don't necessarily sometimes get with the MindLab machine. So that's where I think XP's bread and butter is going to be. It's going to be in the audio and in the tone. So whatever they do, it's going to be a really, really good tonal machine, whichever they decide to go with. And it does, to me, it does have really good tonal nuance, and that's why I think XP is really working hard at trying to develop this and get this right before they release anything. And same way with the coil. Of course, most of you know that XP products, the brains are in the coil. If they make a smaller coil, just like you saw with the Deus one, they're going to have to readjust the battery. The brains are in the coil, like we just said. So that's going to have to be adjusted appropriately. So it's not as easy as we think it is just to throw a coil out there and it's just going to work, because there's a lot that goes into it. And I know that from XP for sure. So we'll see. Metal Detecting Georgia says he's saving his allowance now. And Doug Atkins says, no way to keep up with technology unless you're filthy rich. That's so true. So
Right.
true.
Well, it's getting to the point where it's like these right here, these cell
Oh,
phones.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Apple, every year they come out with a new phone. It's the metal detector in the industry going to go the same way every year or so. They're going to come out with a new machine.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking like it's going that way,
Right. And Metal Detecting Georgia says, I think we still have, and we do, because think about it. I mean, 2011 was when the Deus One was released. It's 13 years later, and they're still releasing things for that. They don't design a machine just to be a one and done type deal. MindLab is more focused on putting out product after product after product. And I think XP's format is more about quality, guys. I'm just being honest. I think it's going to be more about quality and making a premium machine that's going to work extremely well for each and every one of us that likes XP products. I think that's where XP is going, and they're not going to release anything until they are 100% sure that it is right and it's going to be something that is going to work for every single one of us. So just be patient with them. But I do think that we will have something coming soon. Let's just leave it at that from what I'm hearing. Matt and I were wondering where you were. I missed that part. Let's see here. So let's see. Jean says she missed the XP stuff. I have to watch the replay. Yeah, go back and watch the replay. Don't Tread on Me says, I love deep, high conductive reactivity 0, but there's a lot of tonal information to decipher. The more I use, the more I like it. And that's so true. And, one thing that I can highly recommend for you guys that are XP Deus 2 users is set you up a couple of programs, custom programs, run them side by side. Because you can learn a lot. Maybe you have deep high conductor, maybe you have my sweeper program. Set them up side by side. I think you'll find that sometimes you can get a lot of information from having two different programs in those custom settings, or going back to one of the default settings that can really help you in identifying targets. So that's something too that I would highly recommend for anybody, is set you up a couple different programs that can help you maybe identify in heavy iron, maybe identify a deep target between an iron target and a non-ferrous target if you're a little iffy on it. But those different programs are designed to help you in different situations, but they're also designed to help you in finding different things as well in some cases. So run you a couple of different programs, or have a program where you can flip back to if you're unsure whether it's an iron target or whether it's a non-ferrous target. I think you'll find that can help you out a lot out in the field, is setting up those programs and running them side by side. So definitely. Corey Kunkel says, I got here late. Did you guys talk about this buzz? We did. We don't know much, Corey, other than we know it's coming. We're hoping it's going to be multi-frequency. We're hoping it's going to be mid-tier. It's going to be a flagship machine for Garrett. All of that are things that all of us want. We're just going to have to wait and see. We should know a little more in June. That's all I can tell you at this point. Gene Stiggs says XP has been my favorite machine for years, and Gene's exactly right. It's a great machine. I think the Extreme Hunter was a test of some of their high tech. We're going to be surprised what's coming. You're right, Rito. XP, again, they've got top-notch engineers, and those engineers are keyed in at making a good quality premium product, I believe. So we'll see what happens, and just stay tuned. Let's see what XP does, but there'll be something coming real soon from them. This is a good one too. Um, Bart Coven says their pinpointer is the best one I've used so far. And speaking about that pinpointer, Michael, let's talk about one more thing. If you lose that pinpointer, you can actually find that pinpointer now. It's got a find mode on it. So, yeah, you can make it where it goes off. And there aren't many pinpointers that are like that are tied into that machine, and you can actually locate it. So the MI6 and the MI4 are great pinpointers, waterproof. You've got everything you want. It's the only pinpointer that I use. I do have a Nokta AccuPoint. I like it. It works just fine. But I really love my MI6 as well.
Well, another good question. When they come out with the Storm series, Garrett, are they going to update the Garrett pinpointer to so it will link up? I know they have the Z-Link system now, but
Sure.
Is it going to connect directly to these new machines?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to find out some stuff as well. Gene's Dig says the sweeper. Thank you, Gene. We love our sweeper program for sure, and it's one that we love taking out to all these sites. Deep high conductor and sensitive full tones, I use them as checks to each other. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Running deep high conductor and running sensitive full tones. You can set them up however you want. If you want to do two custom programs, set them side by side because they can really help you identify some of those targets. So don't be afraid to flip on a program if you're unsure on a target. Of course, a lot of us are about speed and efficiency. But if you got the time and you want to be able to make sure before you dig, that's a great way to go about doing that. Doug Atkins says your sweeper program is what I use 95% of the time. Thank you, Doug. We appreciate that. Dirt Devil Detecting says have a great Memorial Day weekend. If anyone's interested in the new locking D2 head, just send an email. Have a great night. Dirt Devil Detecting. It's at gmail.com, I believe. I think that's all it was, right, Michael?
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, give him a shout if you're interested. And let me show that real quick before he leaves. But there is, of course, I got a case on mine, but there's the locking mechanism. I'm going to try to zoom in on it. You guys can see it right there, but it will not come off when you're, once you got it locked on. I'm hitting it to sort of show, but once you got it locked on, it really stays on. And I love the way that Dirt Devil Detecting put that slight little angle on it. It's perfect. It takes some of the glare off of it, and it's a great accessory. I would strongly encourage you guys to grab one if you're interested, and if you got a Deus too. So definitely good stuff there as well. Let's see. Detector 2 Guns says, what is the sweeper program? Well, Detector 2 Guns, go check out the channel and search through the videos. But the sweeper program is based off of sensitive full tones. Using 1.10 is the software version we're running with that. And it works really well. And that's about the only thing I use too. But it's a super program. Let's see here. Yes, LC Hunt says Deus 2 audio is very customizable. Adjusting the volume, tone bends, and full tones is a powerful tool. Totally agree. Don't Tread on Me says it's going to be interesting who's the first. And I would venture to say that that's where XP is going. Don't Tread on Me. I think we're going to see a high frequency coil for the Deus 2, and that's where I think they're headed with this elliptical, possibly. Maybe they'll release a round that even goes up to that high of a frequency, and who knows what door that's going to open up once they do that. What do you think, Michael? 70 kilohertz on one of those round vehicles?
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. And like you said, I think that may be what we see next. And the XP he's probably going to be the one that releases that. So,
Right.
just judging by the electrical coil on the day it's one.
Right. Patrick says, I'm a real rookie of this stuff you guys talk about is French to me. I really need your educational videos. Well, go watch the if you got the Xterra, go watch some of those videos, and always leave a comment. If I see it, I'll definitely try to answer it. And usually I try to answer a lot of my comments. So Patrick, go check those out, and we can get you hooked up for sure, buddy, and get you going in the right direction. Any more new detectors, and I'll have to find a government debt forgiveness program. and they're releasing them. They're releasing them for sure. So there you go. Stink Ass Cat said he's got a Quest pinpointer as a backup and really like it. It shuts off when you put it back in the holder. That's a nice feature.
Yeah, that is.
No, that's a good one. Very good. Lance says the sweeper program is hard to beat. Thank you, Lance. We really appreciate that. And Michael and I worked on that for about a month or two after it came out, after the update came out. And that's what we settled on. And it has performed so good for me. I've got a hunt running that sweeper program that I haven't put up yet. But when you guys see this hunt, you guys are going to go crazy with the amount of finds that this thing is going to pull. It is insane. It's one of the best hunts that I've ever had. And Michael was with me and saw this take place. So it's definitely a good one for sure. Finders Keeper says, I agree that sweeper based program gets it done. Thank you so much, Finders Keepers. I appreciate that too. Metal Detector Georgia says, Joe Dirt, I'm waiting for Metal Detector Home Forgiveness program as well. Right, you can wrap up a lot of money in this stuff. Be careful with that too, because I know a lot of us are impulsive and we'll go out and just buy things because we want the newest and greatest things. But one other thing I will say in all of that, learn what you got, get familiar with your machine, and enjoy the hobby. Don't let the stress of all these new machines get you down because there's going to be plenty of time. So enjoy the hobby, enjoy your machine, go out and have fun. And if you need something or you want to talk about a machine, come on here and we'll try to guide you in the right direction or at least tell you what we think. Sometimes we're not always right, but we'll tell you what we're seeing and what has been working for us. So let's see what else. What is the benefit of running 70 kilohertz? Smaller targets, gold. 70 kilohertz is going to do that.
We'll find really small targets.
You're really going to find some small. If you're dealing with EMI, 70 kilohertz will handle EMI a lot better if they do go up to that high. So those would be the things that you could expect with the higher frequency coils if they release those for the Deus 2, which I think is a very strong possibility.
I really like that battery in the lower shaft, with the HF coils. I hope they bring that back on that elliptical coil.
Well, Michael, I think they're going to have to, not unless they've got a smaller battery, which I don't know how much battery you can put inside of that coil along with everything else that goes inside of it. So that'll be interesting. Gene Diggs History wants to know, what version am I running on the Deus 2? I'm running I still run 1.10. I have not gone to 2.0 because the only thing you gained with 2.0 was the update with the bone conduction headphones and the gold prospecting mode. Those were some that were improved on, but outside of that, that was it. So 1.10 is where I've stayed, and it works just fine. Damien Thorne says, "Hey, better late than never. Glad to have you in here, Damien. We've had a great discussion tonight. With Dirt Devil detecting RC lock for the Deus 2, the RC isn't going anywhere." Bells is exactly right. It's one of the best accessories along with this stand for the Deus 2. Right, and I have the stand as well, which if you guys can see that, but there's the stand. And it really, you lay the machine down. Of course, you guys see I got the little arm cuff cover, which I like this too. But the person that was making this, They're not making them anymore, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. Doug Atkins says he runs 1.10. ROB says, have you heard anything about an update for the Xterra Pro to help with jumping VID? No, I haven't. And that's the one thing that I've seen on a lot of the MindLab machines. But they will lock in. If it's a good target, it will lock in, but it will jump. I mean, even on the Equinox and even on the Manticore, you'll sometimes get a little bit jumpy ID. Usually you see it on really deep targets as well with the Xterra Pro, which I've seen it at the beach. The gold ring that I dug was ringing up a 2 on the Xterra Pro. So that'll tell you that that target ID is not always, the tell-all of dig or not dig. And I dug it because the audio was okay on it. And that's what you get with that. But I don't think I've seen anything about them doing an update for the Xterra so far. Let's see here. We got Gary in is in the house. Hey, Gary, glad to have you in here. Yeah, Gene Stig says really deep targets. Machine sees deep targets as small, less conducted. Right. She's talking about the high frequency. Very good, Gene. Thank you for sharing that. You should have a show, Pimp My Detector. That would be a good show.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Digging Daryl. Did y'all see him on here with me down there? Did y'all see his Manticore? He had that thing all pimped out. If he's still on here, he could talk about it. But yeah, that was really interesting to see his. He had the bumper cover on that M8. He had the skin table, right, and then he had the sticker on the front, and it did look really good. Pimp My Detector for sure. DCM says I lower the sensitivity, right, and that's what we just talked about. You lower that sensitivity down, you get better target ID. Thank you, DCM. Pimp Daddy Daryl. I agree. He had that thing going on. I'm going to go and put Christmas lights on my dais. Yeah. All right, Michael. Well, we're getting close to an hour, so I want to share our finds because we've talked about all the machines. If you guys have got any other questions, you can shout them out. I'll try to answer them, or Michael will try to answer them, or there's somebody on here that I know that can answer them. So, but we're going to do our finds by our subscribers. These were some great finds that we got, and it's going to be. It's nice. These finds are really nice. These guys that sent them to me, I appreciate each and every one of you that did send me these finds. If you would like to send me your finds for the next show, it's sransc@gmail.com, and we'll get your finds up on the next live stream. So I love seeing these finds. I love seeing what you guys are using. I love seeing where you're at when you're finding these things. It's always a fun time to get those things coming in, and I love being able to show them. So let's add these finds, Michael, to our stage here, and we're gonna go through them. And there's a lot of people that are on here tonight, so when you see their finds, give them a shout out. Congratulations to them. Let's see here. Get that Treasures in here. Glad to have him back in here with us. Appreciate him being in the house.
And Daddy Daryl.
Digging Daddy. Yeah, there you go. I like it. Digging Daddy Daryl. That's a good one for sure. So, all right, let's get these finds up here, Michael. So let's look at this first find. This first find is by Mr. BK himself. Brian Kennedy is a good friend of mine. He dug this beautiful U.S. plate, baby U.S. plate, and he dug it up in Pennsylvania. So he was real excited to share that with me, and he was using his Deus 2.
You can't get in any better shape than that.
That thing is a stunner. So I wanted to share BK's find. That is a very, very, very sweet buckle. Believe it or not, I do not have one of these. I'd love to get one, and hopefully I'll have one in my future. But a very, very nice plate there that he found. So super excited for BK, Brian Kennedy. Appreciate him sharing that with us. And he was using his Deus 2. So there we go. Mr. LC Hunt dug another beautiful large cent. I think this one was an 1833 US large cent. So that's a good one. And he was real excited.
I bet that cleaned up real nice.
Yeah. He'll have to send us the cleaned up version of that coin. But an 1833 US large cent, and super nice find by Mr. LC Hunt himself, who's in the house with us right now, and always glad to share his stuff as well. And I think that's the second one he said that he dug off of this site. So I know he's super excited. I love digging large cents. How about you, Michael?
I do too. It's something about digging that lower sand and watching it, pop out of the soil. I just love it.
Right. It's just a beautiful coin. And we haven't found one yet, Michael, on that side. I've dug so many colonial coins.
Everything's been older. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot older, but I love a large cent. Congratulations to LC. We appreciate him sharing that with us as well. And then we got Mr. Michael Workman, Michael, with an 1857 shield nickel. How about that, Michael?
That's something I've never dug, is a shield nickel.
And I just dug one the other day.
Yeah.
You know that? I dug it with Surfside Dan. Surfside Dan was with me. But yeah, there we go. An 1857 shield nickel. They only made those coins for 2 years, Michael. And most of
it's a 67. 1867.
Yes, excuse me. Yeah, 67. He's right.
Yeah.
Most of those shield nickels, though, are in usually really rough shape. This one,
oh yeah.
The front, he sent me a picture of the front. I didn't get it, but usually you can make out the back, but the front's the part that's hard. But this one's in really good shape. So 1867 shield nickel.
It is. That's nice.
Yeah, I love those shield nickels too. And this is from, look at here, Michael, Mr. DCM Detects himself. He sent me a whole bunch of stuff here. So we're going to dissect some of this. I love what he did, because he told me everything on the pictures that he sent, and that made it really easy. But he found on a field permission with his XP Deus 2 a brass musket rifle, octagon barrel, stock end. So there you go. He did some research on that. And then he said he found this, what looks to be a cannonball, but he said it could be a mill ball or something else. So he said he wasn't real sure. But he also
looks like a cannonball.
Yeah, it sure does look like a cannonball. Workman's Adventure says the front is in great shape too. So yeah, on his shield nickel. Thank you, Workman's Adventure, for sharing it too. I love seeing those shield nickels. And then DCM also had this, he dug this with the Nokta Legend, this button over here on the side, 2-piece button. A lot of design on it, but that is a very cool find. So all three of those things were found by Mr. DCM Detects, and we're super excited that he shared those finds with us as well. So there you go. And hey, and thank you, DCM, for giving us the rundown, what machine you were using and all that. That makes it a lot easier to go through. So we appreciate that so much. Let's look at the next slide, and we got Mr. Doug Atkins. Look at there. Doug with this beautiful Walking Liberty, and I think it's 1947. I can't quite make it out. 1940 something. It might be 43. But this is Doug Atkins, Walking Liberty. I love silver. I love the Walking Liberty coin. I just like the design of that coin.
Yeah, that's one of the more prettier coins that they've produced, I think.
Yeah, it's so intricate. The just the way that it looks. It's just got so much into it, so much going on it. But very cool coin. I love those Walking Liberties for sure. He says he dug it in a public park in New Orleans. Do you know what the mint mark was on it? I'm curious. But anyway, that's a beautiful coin for sure.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, I love digging those silvers like that. Then we got Mr. Charles Turner. Michael, check this one out.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's a rare button, especially
Yeah.
around here in these parts.
Yeah. So Doug Atkins says that was a Denver mint mark on that. But man, look at that Louisiana. I mean, I would love to have that button. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a beautiful button for sure. So I appreciate Charles sharing that Louisiana button with us. And you just don't see those very often, do you, Michael?
There has been some found around Charleston, right? Because Beauregard, had some of the Louisiana boys around there, right, Brian?
I think
But
so. I haven't seen any posted. Let's just put it that way.
yeah,
So,
it's
but
pretty rare though
yeah,
around here.
they are very, very rare. So that's a beautiful button. But yeah, Mr. Charles Turner with this Louisiana Civil War button, and nice button. Again, I'm jealous of that. So let's see what else we got going on here, Michael. Look, there's Mr. Southern Relic Adventures. So I was telling you guys about Michael and I hunting this past week, and these were some of our finds. And look at all those buttons that he and I dug. These were some of the highlight buttons too. I dug this one piece with the floral design. It's got a flower on the front. The highlight of this hunt was this button, which is, guys, this thing is so small. Is it a small button, Michael?
It is. I mean, it's super small. I mean, it had been on a lady's blouse or something like that.
Right. So that was a button that was made in the 1840s. It was, and the lady on the front is Jenny Lind. She was a Swedish opera singer. And after we did some more research, we found out that she performed in Charleston in 1850. So somebody must have gone to that show, or is this her button? We don't know. But just really strange that this button came off of this site. And none of us knew what it was. We had to do a ton of research on it just to figure it out. And
we found one other picture of a button like that, just one. And I mean, that was it. That's all we could find.
Yeah, it was just so super tiny. And all of these finds that you see on this page were all dug with the Manticore and the M9 coil. So it was a day of nothing but digging targets with the M9, and all of this stuff was dug with the M9. So that'll tell you the M9 really. And we already hunted this spot too, haven't we, Michael?
Yeah. One spot Brian got in, he probably pulled 7 buttons out in a 20-foot area, I think.
I know. It was just crazy. And then we got this nice little Indian head too. It was an 1883 Indian head penny. Nice, pretty green patina on that Indian head. And DC Diggins says she was the Greatest Showman movie. She was in the Greatest Showman movie.
That must be a different one because she was 1850s, yeah.
Yeah, this one was back in the 1840s. So Gene Diggs got a good question. Do I think the M9 outperforms the M8? Well, let me tell you how I'm going to answer that. Yes and no. I think it depends on the situation. I think the M8 is probably going to perform better in a trashier area, in a site that maybe you're having a hard time swinging in. I think the M8 is definitely going to hold an advantage there. As far as the versatility, though, the M9 definitely is going to outperform as far as being more versatile. You get more ground coverage, you get good depth, you get all of those things in this coil. You change the weight of the machine. It makes the machine lighter, actually, than you running it with the M8. So that's my response, Gene. That's probably not what you were looking for, but
I think it's a better all-arounder, as far as every situation than the M8,
All right,
M8 is more of a specialty coil, I think, like you said, in tight spots. But I think that M9 is it's more versatile as far as an all-around coil to me.
Yes. Versatile how? Depth, separation, ground coverage. You get all those things, I believe, with the M9. The M8 is the sweet spot's a lot smaller on that coil. I don't think you've got the versatility that you have like you have with the M9 versus the M8. You just don't. But again, it depends on the situation. I've used the M8. I've found some unbelievable targets. One of the best finds that I've found was found with the M8 just not too long ago. But the M8 is an incredible coil for that machine. So, um, yeah, Jay Kaiser 77 says M8 is great in the woods and thick brush. I agree with it. You know, you take that thing, you can get up close to trees. You can get, like I was hunting in these furrowed rows, and I was taking that M8 and getting in between where I couldn't have gotten in there with an 11 or the 15 or any of the larger coils. The 9-inch, I think now would sort of suffice in that situation too. But that M8 definitely gives you that option of being able to get into spots that maybe you couldn't get into with other coils as well. So, there we go. Did you see what DC Diggins said? He said that lady was portrayed in the movie.
Oh, portrayed in a movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the Greatest Showman movie.
Hmm.
Dang, I'm gonna have to go check that out. DC Diggins, that's a great one. Appreciate you sharing that with me. I'd like to see it now. Now I'm curious. She must have been pretty. She must have been pretty famous.
Yeah.
I've heard of Jenny Lynn, but I've heard of Jenny Lynn cribs. Like when my daughter was born, we bought Jenny Lynn cribs, but I don't think it's the same Jenny Lynn. At
Well,
least
you
I don't.
think, in the 1840s, for somebody to come over from Sweden to perform here, she must have been pretty famous,
Yeah, she had to be. So yeah, so that was really, really, really cool. Well, Michael, we've been on here for an hour and 14 minutes. I think we've hit our going away. Oh, thank you so much, Digging Darryl. Buddy, you are awesome, and we so appreciate you. And loved having you on the show last week too, to fill in for Michael while he was doing his thing. And we really appreciate you. Thank you again. All the donations definitely go back to the channel. They help pay for this subscription service that I pay for to run this. It does cost money to do a lot of this, but again, I do this for you guys. I talk about metal detecting. I love hanging out with everyone here. Michael does too, and we just enjoy it. It's just a fun hangout. So thank you guys, everybody, for being here tonight and being with us. And we appreciate every single one of you for being loyal subscribers. Members, if you are interested in signing up for the membership channel, we are doing our members only live stream coming up next week. So be out on the lookout for the link for you guys that are members. We're going to have some special giveaways for that. So you definitely want to get involved. We're going to, go through some more information, anything else that we can share at that time. But if you are interested in the membership, all you got to do is hit that join button down below. You can get signed up for it, and you can be a part of the membership channel. Remember, if you're looking for a machine, again, Joel, Metal Detecting, Buy, Sell, and Trade USA. Go check out Joel's website. He's got tons and tons of product, things that you guys are all interested in. I know he gets it to you fast and quick. So Joel can get it for you. Let him work some deals for you. Give Joel a shout and check out his webpage as well. So again, we got a lot going on. DCM, thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate you. Thank you again for that donation. And again, those things go straight back to the channel, and it makes us have a lot of fun too, coming on here each night. And all of it goes right back to the channel and what we're doing. So we really appreciate it. Edward G says, enjoyed it. Glad I was able to join again for a live show. Really missed being here the last few weeks. We're glad you're back with us, Edward G. Thank you so much. Thank you, DCM, again. Yeah, Doug Atkins says, Joel ships faster than Amazon. So there you go, Joel. Workman's Adventures is a great show. Thank you guys. Remember, Joel can get you hooked up. He does have a used double score, so anybody that's looking for a machine, uh, maybe give him a shout. Yes, have a great Memorial weekend. Get out and hopefully find some great treasure. Again, if you want to share that with us, sransc@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to get your finds up on there. Michael Pension says, thank you guys. Appreciate you being in here with us, Michael Pension. Richard Smart. Yes, get out and find something. Yes, definitely. Detector Two Guns says, later, Gators. Think as Cap. Thank you so much for all of your support to the channel. We couldn't do it without you guys, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. All right, Michael, any closing words before we get out?
Have a good weekend, guys. And it's getting hot out there. Drink water before you get out. I saw that Metal Tech in Texas said he's going out tonight. He said low tide is at 10, 12. So get your headlamp out.
Right. Get your headlamp out and go out there and hunt. And you won't have to worry about the hot weather, hopefully. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, LC. Good night to you, too. Yes, stay hydrated, definitely, because it's going to be warm. I'm afraid moving forward, but we're all going to get out there and have fun, find some great things. We've got the members only live stream coming up next week. Look for some videos coming from me. I should have some more stuff coming up this week, and we'll be doing our regular live stream next Friday night. So stay tuned for that and come join us again. And I hope all of you guys have a wonderful and fantastic week. Metal Tech in Texas says he misses those bricks, Michael.
Yeah, Brian wouldn't let me put them on tonight.
Oh, Lord. Okay, guys, y'all take care. We appreciate you. Go out, have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you on the next live stream. See you guys real soon. Go out and find some amazing things, and we'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good one and take care. Have a great night.